All right.
Hello.
Well, thank you so much, Vinny. Thank you, everybody. I'm absolutely, well, astonishingly amazed and excited for what's going on. So I'm going to go into a little serenade before I introduce this woman of the hour. Uh, when the world had a crisis in the early 80s, a lot of the talent in the world came together and they put this song together. Some of you might have, recognize it. It started like this. There comes a time when we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one. They are people dying. Oh, and it's time to lend a hand. And that time is now again, ladies and gentlemen. The world this time, instead of just Africa, where it all began, is at a standstill almost. And today, for those of you, if you're hurting, you get a chance to hear from the queen of the lions, the lioness herself, building her own jungle, helping all the women, because we're all about empowering women and some few good men to be your own superhero. And today I got a chance to introduce someone else who's helping us answer that call. Really a woman that needs no introduction. But for those of you who need just a little bit to understand who she is, right? She's an international speaker on guess what? Heart before mind. I love her already because we live in a feeling universe and then we mess it up with our thinking. So she speaks and help people how to understand that. But most importantly, she's also an author, one of her best-selling books for kids with Hear Me Roar. She's more than the eye of the tiger. Forget Rocky, forget the wrecking ball. She's the one and only. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not gonna give you her name right now. I'm gonna tell you one other thing about this amazing woman. You know the Miss USA pageant, everybody's there, everybody wants to be Miss USA. Well, she's also the top recruiter for Miss USA to put them there. She's basically the #1 identifier of beauty, talent, and character. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you I feel like I'm announcing the fight that where Mike Tyson got knocked out in 10 seconds. The one and only, coming to the stage right now, Miss Kari Weber Young.
Wow. Thank you, Obam. What an intro. Please tell me you guys can hear me.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it was cutting it close there. I want to thank Aaron come in here who just made sure that you could hear me because there was some kind of glitch in the universe because I got some powerful things to share with you superhumans today. And so we're not letting that happen. We're going to go ahead and talk. I'm going to get right into this, you guys, because I have a lot. I want to say a quick welcome to Christopher Darrell. He's a powerhouse in the house that showed up. And I'm super excited to finally get you in this Zoom. And so I want to put you guys in one space really quick. I want to ask you guys if you know what your superhuman is, what your superhuman in you is, who you are as a superhuman. And I'm going to ask you to think about that for a small second, and then I'm going to share with you what my difference is, okay? So everybody's got that? You're thinking about what your superpower is. So there's the superpower that you were born with, and that's really your talent. You were born with a talent. And the difference in what a superpower is when you take that talent and you go dig down deep inside of you. You go to the inner core of you so that you find out, you take your talent and you take the ability to get deep within yourself. And the people that have become superhero humans are the people that took their gifts and they've grown those gifts and then they've become the superpower inside of them. So do you guys know what your superpower is? How many of you know? Fasana, Christopher's in there. Okay, so Obam, you're in there. I see a few hands going up. So I want to share with you the superpower. Your inner superpower lies in the heart of your inner superhuman. So that's essentially what I want you guys to write down today. So you were born with a talent, and it's what you do with it in your journey that makes you the superhero, the guru. People are always coming in and saying, how do I become the top of my game? how do I become the go-to expert? I can tell you, Gail's on here. She's one of my superhuman sister friends. I've spent 5+ years in this, personal development space and learning all these great things that other superhumans are doing. And it is in this last leg of this journey that I just realized what my own superhero power is and how to groom that. And I'm gonna be straight up with you guys. I was asked to do this talk late last night, and I went into a bit of a panic mode because this is something that I do every day in my life. It's not something that I talk about all the time. And I went to Gail, and I didn't have my cape on. And I said, oh my gosh, I never really. And she dug down as a superhero friend and said, this is what you do every day. This is who you are every day. So an example of that, Kari, thank you, she's nodding, is Gail said, you know what? You were one of those people just in taking time. This is where I'm talking about going deep for you guys. So this is my going deep, is when I get to know you and I get to listen to you and I get to have shared time and space. And I'm going to use Gail as my go-to today because I've had a lot of time and space with her. We have traveled extensively internationally together. I don't like to fly. We've had vulnerabilities together. She's put me in spaces where I wasn't planning on showing up, but I had to show up. So the way that I went deep is to invest in her as a friend and invest in trust in her with my personal development. And today I want to share this because I'm always talking about what's here and now. That's my superpower. Gail said, Kari, you gave me a superpower when you told me, I'm always telling Gail, I love her voice. I think Gail Kingsbury's voice is the most resonating, tonal, perfect quality pitched voice. And she's always putting speakers up on stage so they can shine. And I just want to hear her talk. So Gail was sharing that that's one of the ways that I go deep with people is I pull out superhero in you when I talk to you, when I share time and space. Joe is on here. I'm constantly telling Joe, are you kidding me? You're amazing. Joe gets up on stage. He gets into a room. When people ask him a question or ask him to sing, he wants to know, why do you want to hear that song? You go deeper. So for me, I'm sharing with you, my inner superhero is to go deep with you and you and you and you and you, all of you in the Hollywood squares here, is I like to go in deep. I haven't gotten to have enough time with Fasana. I can't wait to go deep with Fasana and say, okay, so this is what you've done. This is where you've been. These are the numbers after your name. But when it's all said and done, you were born on this day, and at some point, your life's gonna end and you're gonna go on to a brighter space. Your superhero is the talent you were born with and what you did with those talents. That dash from when you start to when you finish. And it's cliche for those of you that know me because I'm always saying on my lives, remember, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. But that's truly the difference in you were born a superhero. You have your own thumbprint, your own identity, your own DNA. And I can't express this enough. So, and I'm going to say this real quick. And another day, I'm a survivor of a bridge that I didn't jump off of. So there's a superpower in me is that I survived depression and suicide. And so I'm constantly trying to go deep enough, and I'm still working on that depth in my superpower to reach humans, because I don't want another single person to jump. And so I find myself in that space a lot. And so I want to get back onto how do you get to your superhero qualities in you and make them deep. It's by doing. It's by showing up. And so a little tidbit back to Gail is how I showed up in her life. And today she showed up for me and said, this is the give back. So I'm doing and I'm being and I'm listening and I'm incorporating my life into yours, and I'm listening to your heart set points in your life. I'm helping you get alignment. And then I know the give back, you guys, is don't worry about the give back. Superman never says, hey, did you like my cape? Wonder Woman never asks, did you like my hair? Are my legs too thin? Are they too thick? All those things. Superheroes don't ask. I spent a long time in my born talent space, and there's going to be some head nods in here. Robin's in here. with people that I was saying, was that okay? Was that good enough? Did I get my point across? Christopher's in here. He's my ADHD superhero. I'm an ADHD, ADD, whatever. I call it the genius of my mosaic mind these days. But I used to ask for validation because I had a lot of talent, but I wanted somebody to see the superhero in me. So now I get to wear a cape because I've surrounded myself by like-minded, growth mindset people like you guys. That's why we're all here, because we all have superhero talents inside of us. Some of us have full on shiny capes, and some of us are getting there. And some of the O-bombs in the room are flying, right? So there's different levels of your doingness. But being you 100% all the way, every single day is the first step. So I'm going to share, I'm going vulnerable because my cape has a big vulnerability on it. So I met Obam and Rob Riopel because Gail invited me to go to their mastermind group. Okay, this was huge for me. I think this is the day that I got my cape sort of planted on me. Is that fair to say, Gail? And we had a hot seat. And this is what happens when superheroes get together. I want you guys to really put yourself in my space right now and feel what I'm going to share with you. I got up in the hot seat and I was the third person to go, and I was surrounded by real live superheroes. Batman was in there, Robin was in there, I'm telling you. Wonder Woman was in there. And I didn't know any of these people at this mastermind, and this was the high level mastermind. And I sat in the hot seat and I literally said, wait, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to get my box of tissue. And you're in a big director's seat right in front of everybody, and they're filming you and they got notes, and all of a sudden you kind of feel like you're important, but you're not quite sure why. In my story, I sat down and held on to that Kleenex box, and I just looked at Rob Riopel and Obama and Gail, and I said, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to come unglued. I'm going to cry. I'm going to let you pick me up, shake me up, dump all that Kari Weber Young thinks she knows to this day in her journey all over the floor. And I hope you're going to help me put her back together bigger and stronger. And it was an amazing moment for me. But would I have gotten there if I wasn't vulnerable? I could have gone up there with my ego and said, oh yeah, here I am. I was just in Amsterdam speaking with Gail. But I didn't, because I know there's more to me than the title, than the face, than whatever it is that people see me, the crown on my head, depending on what crown I'm wearing that day. And I know Gail was having a moment of, oh, she's going to arrive, because I've been kind of going along, but never really putting all my skin in the game. And real superheroes learn to ask. So when Gail said I might have this opportunity, I went, I will be there. Pick me. I'm going to be there. And I have since then asked Rob if he would mentor me. Those are hard things to do, you guys. If you want to grow and you want to take your talent, you got to show everybody what your talent is. Now, another space is, I tell people, you don't have to come in with all your credentials and say, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. Bragging is tough for me. It really is tough for me. I was raised to be the humblest of the 5 boys I was raised with and a sister. So that's a hard space for me. But I got up there, and I want to share with you what happens when you get real with everybody. I came in and said, I'm going to save the world globally. I'm the Umbrella for Life owner, and I love people. And then somebody said, okay, wait, what's going on? So then I said, well, I just married a Canadian. I live in Canada in an ice box, truth be told, and never been in that space. I left my dear friend Robin behind, my friends in the States, and I was here. I didn't know a single soul. I love children. Usually I'm talking about children. So in front of all these amazing humans and getting raw, I thought I was going to talk about this one world united. But my beginning of that story, after playing with Miracle the whole entire time, mind you, while everybody's trying to do business, I was being super nanny to Miracle and loving on her. So it was, the cat was out of the bag that, oh, she likes these kids, and oh, they like her too. My superpower with children was showing. And as Gail pointed out later, I went from Miracle into the hot seat. So what came into the hot seat with me was my love for children. And children are the real superheroes. If you really listen to kids, they talk about things grown-ups have outgrown because we're too afraid. They are fearless. They're not afraid to try things new, and they're not afraid to accidentally say inappropriate things. You know, mommy, that lady's really big. Oh. You know, we've all had those moments where kids say the darndest things, but they're truthful. And it's when they grow up, we take all the junk that we've got underneath our capes that get us to where we're going, and we unload that stuff onto our kids. So that's really super important. I was sharing my love for kids in the seat, and I simply shared with these humans, you guys, that I had 13 kids. My husband's got to leave the room now because I'm confessing. 13 children from all different colors, shapes, and sizes in my home. I had 13 superheroes, and we were making superhero muffins. And I was sharing this as a side note in the hot seat, you guys. And all of a sudden the lights went off, and Obama's like, wait, what were you putting into these muffins? And I said, well, I had 13 kids who I was just loving on and sharing with because I felt like I had no purpose in the world, all alone in this ice box where I didn't know a single soul. And pretty soon, you know, Hans is saying, I had a really tough time at school today, and all the kids pick on me because I'm the shortest kid in the class. So I said, oh, wait, cucumbers. Those give us strength. Let's add a little bit more cucumber to the muffin. And then, you know, the other little girl, Shariah, she's saying, well, I sometimes walk at school with my head down, and the teacher always puts me up like this and says I have bad self-esteem. But I said, oh, then let's take some self-esteem, and the carrots give us self-esteem. And all of a sudden, accidentally, I realized I was showing these kids, I was being a superhero to them. I was listening to them, and I was loving on them. And there was no give back expectation, right? Because when we're grown-ups, we look for, well, when's it coming back to me? I invested all of this in a friendship, in a marriage, in a career. When's it coming back to me? And children simply showed up at my house, and the only thing I said was, you have to tell your parents you're at some strange lady's house and I have to meet them, right? So I got these 13 kids, I've got their attention, and I'm starting to put these superhero muffins together. And at the very end, Addie, my little neighbor boy, says, ah, superhero muffins are like us with Miss Kari. She's giving us all the superpowers inside of us. So I'm telling this story at the mastermind, and I'm just sharing because I don't know what to say. And the next thing I know, because I hung out with superheroes, Gail's getting a little teardrop and a smile over there, I think I'm gonna unite the world and change the whole world. And these superheroes in the room started saying, wait, Kari, start here where you're passionate. Your superhero is to ignite children and put all the stuff inside of them. And at home, parents are busy doing everything they can to raise these kids, but we're forgetting all the little superpowers that go in there. So by the time I left this mastermind, you guys, I had a full-fledged identity as the Nothing But Muffins superhero lady. And I am now I have a YouTube channel, and we're cooking in the kitchen with Miss Kari, and somebody threw out that they knew the Incredible Hulk, Lou Ferrigno, is gonna come in my kitchen, and now we have this entire platform built on superhero muffins and sharing with kids and how to ignite them. Do you guys see what just happened? I was given an entire model, a business in which to get myself seen and heard on the level of that I need to be able to do the global things that I want to do. I want to be a global superhero woman. And my bottom line is always the heart. So we're always talking about mindset, and I love mindset. I feel like you take your talent and your mindset and you do great things. You take your talent that you're born with and you go vulnerable and deep and real and grab superhumans to hang out with and growth mindseted individuals to help you be the best that you are. That way you're going to end up being the person that you were meant to be on every single level. And so when I went there, I want to tell you this too. The risk is I left there, and Gail has gotten me into some amazing spaces. And then I leave. Christopher's introduced me to some amazing people. And I leave, and I'm like, well, that felt really nice. And then I stay in my comfort zone. The difference in a superhero space is I had my hands on Superman, which was Obama, and Batman, which was Rob Riopel. Okay, I'm trying to make it a little fun for you guys. And I actually sat at home for a couple days and went from this aha moment, which we've all experienced, you know, Christmas, woohoo, and then it's gone. And what do you feel? That was over like that, right? And then you have a little bit of that depressed, ugh. I kind of had a little bit of that because I was like, well, why did I go there? And why did Gail introduce me to these amazing people? Because they didn't show up after that. Then I looked in the mirror and I got a call that day from Christopher Darrell. Hey, Superwoman, can you come to this event? I need somebody to be here, or blah, blah, blah. I went to his event within an hour that day. And I sat on a platform with 6 people talking about, I would say, on a talent level. And then I took the risk and I went, I'm going to go deep. I'm going to take this space that Christopher Darrell gave me at Jujube's event. Remember this, Christopher? And he didn't even know who I was. I'm some strange woman at his event on his stage. And out of that, because someone asked a question, a scary question, and I answered it in absolute full force. Had I gone through a tragedy, and how did I get out of it? So instead of taking my talent to say, oh yes, you can be better, I went to the superhero level with my cape and said, okay, wait, everybody. Which you don't usually do on a panel, by the way. Gail knows this. I up-fronted. I actually stood up on the stage and I said, we need to go deep for these humans that are here for us. They've taken the time to come here and learn. We need to show up. And I went on another level. I believe Kari was there actually too. And what I got out of that experience was I didn't wait for them to invite me. I saw and heard the calling and I jumped out in my superwoman space of love and I answered that. And then I went to the VIP after and I met Kayla Walsh, who's on here. Kari was there. It was a great experience to see stepping into your superpower does not only for you, but the people in the audience. When I'm sitting there with Kayla and she's saying, when you said this one thing, thank you for doing that. And so many people coming in and saying, that person was nice and that person was smart and I liked that person's book idea, da-da. But you affected me. You are what I'm going to remember. You can take that as ego and go, look at me, I affected people. Or you can go home, you can get on your knees and you can say, thank you. Thank you for giving me the ability to touch people. Thank you for giving me the ability to go past inspiring people and getting people to see themselves. So if you guys are following me, you should see from the beginning of this talk, the inner superpower lies in the heart of your inner superhuman. It's taken the titles and all that space that you've gotten, you've worked so hard to get, and then you're empty wondering why. It's because now you get to serve. Superman and Batman and Spider-Man and Wonder Woman just kind of show up in the movie, don't they? You ever wonder? How do they just know? Because real superhumans are paying attention to each other. We're looking, we're listening, we're asking questions, and we're showing up for people. And we're taking risks. We're putting ourselves in the hot seat, right? Who I thought I was is not even a quarter, a half of who I am. And I'm learning when people say kind things to me, superheroes say thank you. Thank you. Because you guys know when you get to a space where you want to give somebody a compliment, sometimes we're nervous because we don't know how they're going to accept our superhero ability to reach out and connect. But I'm always teaching my clients, you got to learn how to say thank you. You got to be a gracious receiver. Thank you, Margene Holden, for that gracious receiving moment she gave me, a necklace that said gracious receiver. I've been in the mode of being a gracious receiver. We don't know that superheroes actually have a desire to be received graciously. So are you guys starting to put this down a little bit in your head and seeing the true connection is taking your talent and grooming it by being who you are every day, walking in that space every single day in your truth. And I truly, truly believe that if you trust in other people, in the right people, they'll show you what your superpowers are. They'll allow you to show up. So I want to go into one little space here. I wanted to stay up here with you guys and make it a little bit more fun, but I'm always just, I'm the deep sister in the room. I want to go into a space too where we talk about allowing other people to come and get deep with you. When we invite people and we ask people how they are, a talented person says, "How are you?" and keeps walking by. I'm good at connecting. "Hey, how are you?" "Oh, I'm looking at you." I smiled at you. The superhero in your humanness stops and says, "How are you? No, really, how are you?" And you listen and you make eye contact. I'm a weirdo. I'll shake a hand. My dad taught me to shake a hand. I'll shake your elbow and hold your hand. I'm bringing you into that space. Thank you, Erin, for being such a good model. Do you see the difference? The talented person in every aspect of your life plays on a talented level. The superhero goes deeper, goes higher and above, and sees what's going on and takes it in. So I reached out to Jillian. She's on here. And she's a superhuman in the making. She's my osteopath. And she's the woman that reached into my body and my soul and built connectivity to me and my heart, my mind, and helped me move past my assault in June. I sat the other day and said, "You are the reason that I have my superpowers back. But what I need from Jillian is to keep going out there and keep sharing that story of how she implemented on another human with her hands, with her heart. She knows things you don't even know about yourself going on in there, people. So the superhero power always gives back, but learns to receive. So do you guys want to know what my superpower is? Yeah. If you'll invite me in, I'll tell you what my superhero power is. My superhero, Bob's saying, yeah. My superpower is to see the ability within myself that everywhere that I go and every human that I connect with is to look inside of them and see, how can I serve them? How can I receive from them? It's communication. It's building that bridge between the person who you see over here that wants to be over here. People who want to play with people here, who want to play with people up here. It's connection. It's that vibe. It's taking the time to put your energy out and invite the energy in. And when you do that, you guys, when somebody reaches out to you, they know who you are. They know what fire they're playing with. So bring them in and let them see who you are. And then you get to see who they are. But just remember, 100%, a talented person flies into the room with their ego. Does everybody see me? Here I am. I was born with so much talent. I don't know what to do. A superhero flies in graciously. And you guys can all go back to Marvel right now. I want you to think of this. Think of Superman, this big, strong, sexy man. But do you ever notice he flies in and it's always this beautiful, graceful landing? His feminine power comes in when he hits the feet on the floor. I totally see it every time. That's what a superhero does when they come into the room. They come in with wisdom that's on their heart to share. And then they bring you into the light and they reflect. You think I'm amazing? That's because you're amazing. You are seeing a reflection of yourself. And that's what I see in this room. That's why there's a lot of people in here today to support me. And I'm so thankful you guys are here to support what I believe in and what I speak on. But what I think is so amazing is I'm seeing growth mindseted people, heart set people, like-minded people all here on the same space. You guys are all here because there's something pulling you in. Gail's got amazing superpowers of connectivity. I've never seen anything like it. My mom could shake her head. Gail can get people to show up at her house for Sunday dinner and nobody knows anybody. And she gets people to talk that have never spoken in public. So we have those moments, and I want to invite each and every one of you to take the superhero powers that you thought you had when you got here. And I want you to go to a space today and write down what you think your superpowers are, what you think your talent is, what were you born with? And if you make any motion, the first motion is to reach out to somebody that you love and trust. Like I reached out to Gail this morning and said, I have lots of superpowers. What's my superpowers? Help me hone them in. And I listened because she's been connected and could see too. I want to say thank you to my mom on here too, because Mom, you're the one that started the first stitching of that superpower. Because when I was a little girl and I'd come home and say, I need a pair of powder blue Nikes to be cool, my mom would say, yeah, no, if everybody has powder blue Nikes to be cool, then you got to find something else to be cooler with. And my parents raised me to be straight up, unapologetically who I am, show up. Some days it looks like this. The joke of my FaceTime lives is my mom is like, some days could you put some makeup on? So my mom has given me the ability to be vulnerable, and I want to thank you, Mom, because superheroes are born with talents, but they need to be molded. And if you're a parent, I'm always telling everybody, gosh dang it, if you're a parent, you do not get to be less than super mom or super dad, because you brought those little superheroes into the world. This is your crowned jewel of glory. These little people are your legacy. I did an interview with Gail the other day, and it was like the last question I asked her is, above all of who you are, of all these titles and amazingness that you are, that I know as a human, what do you want to leave to those kids? What do you want your children to see in you? I always joke too that what do I want Aaron to see in me? Because I'm almost 10 years older than he is. What do I want you to see in me? So I want to say, I want to say thank you for letting me come in here. And I want you guys to get to this space. Raise your hands. I want you to say, my name is, and put your name in that space. My name is Kari Young, and I am a fully caped superhero. That's right. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Fully caped superhero. And what that means is you have the ability. You might not be flying up there yet with the stars and the moon, but you have the ability to get there. But you got to do the work. Superheroes have mentors. I have an above creator, and I'm in alignment there. When my superhero cape goes sideways, the first place I go is to the person who created this machine, because you know what I was meant to be. So that's how I get put back together. And then I reach out to my superhero O-bombs, and my superhero Benny's coming in, he just doesn't know it yet, and my superhero friends out there, and I say, hey, what can I do a little bit better? I need a little help over here. And I invite people in, because I come in with wisdom, but my ego's back there. The heart is set and grounded. I always joke to people, when people do this for their heart, I'm an American, and we put our hand over our heart, my heart's down at my feet, stabilizing me and grounding me. And Aaron just saw me the other day. I'm such a goofball. I take my feet every time I go in the snow, and I do 1 foot this way and 1 foot this way. I got my heart in the snow. And that's reminding me that I have my heart centered and grounded and in the earth. And we're all born out of that in humanity. You guys are my brothers and my sisters and my aunties and my uncles and all of those lovely things. But I want to invite you guys to seriously, please, 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 please invite yourself to go look in the mirror today and see the superhero in you. And if you're not there yet, tap in to those of us that are flying and soaring with our capes and ask how you can get in on that. Because we fly in a V and we support each other, right? I love the Asira triangle. It's all of us, one leg at a time here together. So I want you guys to get fully caped. That's the plan. I want to see the superhero in every single one of you because it's there. So thank you so much.
Yeah, Kari, I feel like coming on with a candle going, I can be your hero, baby.
Right? Oh, speaking of heroes, Aaron brought a real life superhero muffin for you guys. So I want to tell you real quick what's in here.
I wish Zoom had smell-o-vision right now so I can smell it.
It's frozen. So there's carrots, cucumbers, zucchini. Or carrots, I always say that, zucchini, almond flour. You should tell everybody because this is he's a superhero muffin creator.
A little bit of honey, some chai seeds, flaxseed, and
oh, come on,
chocolate chips.
Chocolate
have to have chocolate chips.
Chocolate chips. I'm gonna break this open and I'm gonna toast this to you guys. It's frozen, but I can do it. That's the inside of all the amazing ingredients that we're gonna go out into the world and blast off to every child that you know needs to have some skin in this game right here. That sounds a little gross when we're talking about a muffin. But these are the ingredients that make a really super muffin. And we're gonna put this into all the kids out there and create superhero muffins. And you guys are gonna go, I remember that crazy lady talking about those superhero muffins. You should try one. So,
that's awesome.
Thank you guys.
Absolutely. So Kari, if anybody wants the superhero muffin recipe, how can they get the superhero recipe?
They go to her house and they build it with her.
All right, there's our cape. I touched that cape. I got some real powers that day. And I didn't see Robert on here. I hope he was on here. Super, super thankful to you and everything that you opened for me that day. See, there's that vulnerability. I will post the superhero muffin recipe up on let's put it on we'll put it on Facebook at Kari Weber Young Facebook, which is, yeah, we'll put it up there. And yeah.
Kari, before you go, so I know you're in that loving, heart-centered, vulnerable space. We're gonna open up for some questions, but before we open up for questions, you know, one of the other superheroes, I kind of, you know, it's like leaving the best for last. It's like the icing on the top that some folks don't know also, that you also, you shared and taught and teach for like Les Brown and also the Speak and Grow Rich community, coaching speakers on their stage presence and things like that. So, because there's a lot of folks right now that needs to retool, right? For the new economy and learn to become great speakers and things like that. You know, can you share at least one or two of the common things that you've taught and helped everybody that was the most important, like the two top things that have helped anyone in that space?
Thank you for asking me that, because this is huge and it doesn't get said a lot. Gail's always given me kudos for pointing this out. What's really important is there's a lot of pressure. Speaking has shifted so heavily to, you know, selling from the stage. And I hear a lot that from Canadian versus US stages, and that Americans are all caught up on that. And so one of the things I've shared a lot with Gail is my gift is to, when my speakers get up, my speakers are not on the level of Gail's. My speakers are doing smaller, warmer things right now. But what is so important is when you get up there and you're this superhero on stage and people are like, wow, I really get it. I want to do Speak and Grow Rich. Gail just shared this amazing program called Speak and Grow Rich, and I want to get in there and I want to do this. If Gail walks off that stage and is like, okay, yeah, I'm done, she just lost the most powerful reason a speaker gets on the stage. I can teach you how to walk, how to talk, how to get your vocal cords to resonate. You know, there's so much to speaking, but if I teach you all these great things and you walk into your superpower and then you're just too good for that audience because you want to separate yourself, you want to be a star. There's so many speakers I've shared stages with, and don't you want to go meet the audience? Oh, but that girl over there was crying in the corner when you came up. You got to meet the audience. Aaron can tell you, it's frustrating. I will stay there until the last person has Kari's shaking her head. She has a story there. My feet hurt. Can we leave? And I'm like, girl, get a wheelchair, because this person's got to get something from what I shared up there. And that, if you don't stay connected, and I mean heart connected and honest, those people will not buy your program. They'll go get their money back. So the difference to me is you can have a hot sell up there, but if you're not hot in the seat down there with them, you're not going to get the sale. Or, you know, it takes one person to go, well, she's not really who she says she is. Beware. So I think that's really super important. And then just the little last tidbit I'll say, because I spent so much time on that first answer, is energy. Energy is real. You guys were talking about it so much. And I'm a bad girl to be in the room if you don't show up with energy. Right, Kari? When I'm coaching somebody, I've talked to Jill about this too. If you are talking about, like, Tony Robbins can get away with hell, fire, and brimstone because he's talking on that level. If Obama comes into a room and he is speaking about the depth of who he is his family's first, I'm here for this. This is my purpose. He's got to have a deeper sense of talking. Christopher gets on there and talks about marketing. Dude, get your ass out there. Spread yourself out as far and as wide as you can. He's got to have that energy. I'm coming in and saying, be real. So I got to be grounded and centered. So your energy must align with your talk, with your message. If you're a person that talks about personal health and training, you better come in with guns and looking good, because you want to be the brand that you are in your energy. So those, I feel, are the most two important things that get a person, and I'm a tough person to sit in an event with. Ask Gail, I'm like, that's a distraction. The lighting's wrong. Why is her voice up here when she's talking about her grandma dying? You know, there is so much to it, and that's a whole nother topic. But I love the energy that you guys give, because when somebody comes on here, and I will now forever tell everybody that's invited to train in here, just let it all go and show up, because I was a little nervous because I'm a big crybaby. And when I got in here, I felt all of your love. Everybody in here is like, here she is. I can't wait to hear what she has to say. So you guys showed up for me, and I'm so, so thankful.
Awesome. And we love you, Kari, because you know why? This is that Sade kind of love, right? Because this is no ordinary love, right? This is no ordinary love, girl. This is that real, legit, like, you know, MC Hammer, too legit to quit love. So we sincerely appreciate you. I'm going to go now, whether to Facebook or everyone here live. If you have any questions for Kari, you can post your questions in the comments. I'll ask them. Or if you're on the live here with us in the Zoom, just unmic yourself and ask Kari her questions. Otherwise, we're going to let the superhero go, because, you know, well, let me just correct myself, the super shero, because that's what she is today. She's my shero, and Gail is one of my super sheros too. So questions, we're open up for questions right now, or we're going to have Kari close out. So we have a question from Fasana now. Fasana asks, well, no, she says, what an amazing conversation. Thank you, Queen Kari. Oh, I thought you had a question, Fasana. Thank you. Well, that now goes, since you popped up, Fasana, I'm going to open up the gallery view. You are forced to ask a question. So you better make one up in the next 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
okay, I got 1
seconds.
Kari, you are like no words. I've always known how beautiful your soul is, just based on my superpower, but hearing you speak today has inspired me to grow so much just based on this conversation. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love you so much. My question is, I have so many superpowers, and professionally speaking, from a coaching perspective, from a speaking perspective,
Right.
how do I choose the one that I focus in on so I can really grow from that space?
I know Gail's over there going, oh my gosh, Fasana, this is a test. I bet you Obama told you to ask me this. So just all of you that know, I get this question all the time because I say I wear many crowns. And as I hate doing the women female thing, but I can speak as a woman and a mother and a wife and all those things we wear so many crowns. And I am a creator, and I love the guys that are in here know I used to apologize for being so real, but my depth it's superhuman. I love everything that I put my hands in. So Gail's like, can you get in this lane? I'm like, and then she'll call me, go, what do you mean you're doing that now? I thought you were over here. So this is a really good question for me. Thank you. First of all, it's a beautiful thing to struggle with. But what I've learned to do is stay in my lane and pick that one thing and go with it. And Obam's challenging me and Rob is challenging me. I know that with this superhero muffin thing, it wasn't somewhere I was ever going to really truly go. And Gail said, are you kidding me? You had rock stars listen to you and see with business caps, and they saw your passion. So I've never spoke about this, you guys, until today. There's my vulnerability. I'm usually speaking about contagious living and why you shouldn't jump off the bridge and stay power. And so this is my lane. So what I want to ask you, Fasana, because I know you're getting great mentorship too, I would keep a journal for the next 30 days and start seeing the similarities pile up. Because I have given myself this last 30 days with this series to listen to everything. Every time I talk to Obama, what is he saying back at me? Every time I talk to Robert, what is he throwing back at me? It's driving me nuts because it's a push. It's a work and it's push. What is Aaron telling me every day? What is he seeing? What is Kari thanking me for? What is Joe thanking me for? What is Robin saying? She sees growth in me. You know, my mom is constantly like, why are you overthinking? Keep feeling. So, and Gail came in today and said that you ultimately know. So if Obama was teaching, he'd probably say, know your why. What is your why? If there was one thing you could do right now with all the money in the world, one person what would it be? I literally went this way. When I die, in between the dash, I don't care about titles. She loved with her whole heart every single person. That's what I did to get here. So I don't know if that was the right answer, but it's a start because I'm still learning. I'm learning to stay in this lane. And you guys are a huge part of my learning and growing because I'm always afraid to talk about the heart because I was the girl in 5th grade. You're too sensitive. You know, I told Obama the other day, there's a part of me that's been a little pissed off because like you guys are talking about EQ. I invented EQ. I'm the EQ queen. I was the girl in 5th grade going, hey now, why are you picking on that kid? Let's go pick on you and see how it feels. I've always been that justice provider, but you guys tuning in like this to me and saying you hear me, it's just practicing being vulnerable and talking about love and seeing that it's accepted. And Annie's over there like boom, 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 boom.
I've got it. I have to step in. Oh my gosh. Okay. I've been dying to say something because
I'm receiving.
I was multitasking and listening to your voice. And then at the end, when Fasana got on, I was like, I need to say this to Kari. And Kari, your spirit of giving, your spirit of serving, your spirit of connecting with people on a soul level was so apparent in just our first conversation. And, you know, you had put something out there, and I remember how we connected, and I just took a chance and I said, hey, I can help if you'd like, you know, you never know, someone receives it, but you're so open-minded. You just said, yeah. Come on in, right? And then we got onto a call. But from that call, you sort of got to know my background, and you immediately found that little girl in me. Mm-hmm. You connected to that. And that resulting video that you made, that was a shout out to the stuff that I've been going through. Despite not knowing me very well, despite not knowing back of how I've come to who I am today, that was the most incredibly touching thing that you have done. And you have really got superhero powers. You are Wonder Woman and Superman and Spider-Man and Batman and all rolled up into one. And you are the female version of Hulk Hogan. I have to say that you are able to find the place in a person that needs loving and healing. And I'm sorry to make you cry. I try not to cry myself. But you're really blessed, and that's God's given talent that you have. And you know, the blessing for the rest of us in this world is that you've identified that and you're running with that, and we're able to be in that power and that light that you're shining out. So thank you so much for all that you do. The children have a hero in you.
Thank you.
Nah, Sirenia, it's Kari Weber.
I got that call last night.
Kari. Nah, Sirenia, it's the queen. I love it. So it looked like there was 2 questions from either Kari DeWitt and Robin Van Horn. Did you guys have questions? Or you were just like, yes, girl, yes, preach it. I didn't know if it was a question or a yes, right? So anyways, if there are no other questions, look, forget Simba. We don't need a big hair. We just need the big heart, right? That's what Queen Kari is representing today. And I just, you know, obviously my kid is always out, but he's out with a cape today. So Robert is showing that cape the whole time, and I just feel like flying. I'm a superstar. All right, so I'm a big superhero, and I'm sexy. Thank you, Kari Weber Young. So
you can come
Kari,
here and cry because he's just going to make you laugh and get right on over it. I love it.
I love it. You know, we got to bring the emotions all around, emotional roller coaster. So Kari, during this, your entire journey,
Yes.
getting to the new journey, which is for you identifying your own superpower to raise the next generation of superheroes.
Yes.
If there was one thing, I know there's a lot, but if there was one thing you could hone in on and share that is helping you to own that, what is that one thing? It could be a philosophy. What's that one thing that's helping you own that right now?
So it's going to sound like some ego and some wisdom, but somebody said this very wisely yesterday. And I used to joke all the time when I was in the dating pool. I would say, you're not supposed to introduce people to your children when you're dating. But if I introduce my children, Gail's going to give a big head nod here. They're amazing superheroes. And every man that ever met my kids was like, yeah, I love you. Because I was putting my talents into my little superheroes and we grew together. People really see value in me when they meet my kids. Like Aaron has no children, you guys. This is a man who's, 8.5 years younger than me and married a woman with 4 children because they're amazing. And so I think the thing is, as when you have children, you want to build that foundation, and the ego in it is we want to see our legacy. But if we're wise, we're going to build a legacy that lives well beyond ourselves. And what I keep telling my kids and telling my friends, and the reason I want to parent and coach parents is because my amazing kids, they got to hang out with your kids. Gail's kids are amazing. We all got to create a generation of people that see and know their amazingness, right? Kari, I've heard Kari parent her kids on the phone when the dog ate the bird, and she was there, and it was love, and it was deep, and I was like, you're in my circle because you're a super mom. And the number one thing I've been said the most on stage 10 years ago was, the one apology I will never make is, I'm the best mom in the world. Because I'm putting everything I got, roots and water and dirt and all the love in the world, into those little people. So if you don't have kids and you're a human, it's even more powerful. So I'm looking forward to growing up with Miracle. I told Gail this on the way home from your house. I'm going to be her auntie. She doesn't know it, but I'm so excited to have an opportunity to give and share, so these 2 superhumans can go away and Auntie Kari can say how amazing she is. Because I always say godparents or chosen parents are as bit as important as the birthed parents, but you guys got to know the validity. When Christopher Darrell meets my son Austin and says, dude, let's go fishing. I'm going to teach you how to fly fish. You're a rock star. My son is going to believe in that. When Obama says, Austin, I see greatness in you, he's going to listen to you because I'm the mama. I've been doing it his whole life. Gail can tell Austin how great he is. They have conversations that I'm like, I've said that. But all human adults have a massive space, but you have a responsibility. Find somebody younger. Get in there and shine some light for them and listen to them. Listen to them. Teach them how to listen. That's my bottom line.
Oh, round of applause. My Anna's over here going, I love it. I love it. So I told you, ladies and gentlemen, I shared with you yesterday, the one, the only, the mighty Miss KWY, Kari Weber Young. She is young at heart, teaching the heart before the mind, and that's the most important. You have it here. If you're on live, thank you so much. The recording will go out. But Kari, thank you so much. Because I can be your hero, baby.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Aaron does not like to be on camera. He's not a front and center guy. When you're flying like this as a superhero, it's super important to find your grounding space. This guy right here holds time and space for me so I can fly, but he never lets me get too far off and too far away. He always brings me back, and I wouldn't be here if I didn't have my other superhero, my Batman.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kari. For everyone else, we will be back tomorrow at 1 sharp. Tune back in. We will have Miss Vasana Patel, round 2, back by popular demand, sharing her heart and how you can live a holistic life. Someone is playing with the video right now. I don't know.
That would be my mom.
Hi, Mom. Someone's playing the video. Anyway, so Fasano will be back on live tomorrow, and that's at 1 o'clock. So if you would like to tune in and learn more about the holistic living, join us tomorrow, 1 p.m. sharp. Thank you so much, Miss Kari Weber Young. We love you. See you all. Bye for now, everyone. Take care. God bless. And we'll see you back on the Hour of Power tomorrow. Bye for now.
Love you, superheroes.
Thank